Hello.
Hey,
Hey,
can you hear us?
Yes.
great.
Great. My name's Richie.
I'm Dani.
All right. I'm Joshua. I'm Daniel. I'm Jackson.
Okay, so what's the name of your team? Just to keep it.
We are the CyberKnights, Team 4911.
All right.
Okay.
So, how are you doing, guys?
We're doing good.
Had problems joining the Hangouts?
Yeah, we couldn't really figure it out. I saw the YouTube thing.
Okay. A video saying how to join?
What? I'm sorry?
You saw a video teaching you how to join?
No, I clicked on the YouTube view this video, not the join as a webcam.
Okay. So let's start with the questions, okay?
All right.
So how was your team divided? In what areas or what?
Are you talking about for FTC in 3 days specifically?
Yes.
Okay, so for this competition, we didn't really know about the business aspect of it, so we didn't have that many business people on board with us when we started it. So we had about one business person helping us out and helping us with the uploads, but most of the rest of the team was on the design side, which we split up into more assembly and design sections. It was very loosely structured because of the time constraints.
We got a couple software people too.
Yeah, and software.
Okay. What do you use to program the robot?
We used Robot C.
Okay. Did you have any experience with it?
We've done FTC in the past, but that was about a year ago. So the software guy forgot a bit of how to play with it, so he had to just figure it out as he went.
Okay. Can you briefly explain your progress during the 3 days?
So the first day after we went to the showing of the game, we went back to our lab and started design. And yeah, so we started on our game strategy, which we decided was to just go off of the ramp and do all the things that we needed to do. And then when we figured out what we wanted our robot to be able to do, we started figuring out how we wanted it to do it. So then we started on just drawing schematics and prototypes. And from then we started building. And that was the first day. The second day we started really trying to manufacture and assemble stuff. But we still had some design things we had to figure out, like the chassis and some of the collection and delivery mechanisms. So we spent about half of that day fleshing out the design, making sure that everything would hopefully work together well. And then by the third day, we really were just assembling and manufacturing and programming and hoping everything would come together.
That's good. What obstacles did you have? How did you overcome them?
One of the obstacles was we didn't really treat this as a prototyping 3 days thing. We actually tried to build a competition level robot in 3 days. So we tried to make our own chassis, and that was good, but we spent a lot of design time when we should have been prototyping and working on our design, our collection and delivery mechanisms.
Yeah.
And some of the physical problems we had, our mill broke down, are just time constraints, and school was also another big problem.
Do you have any budget problems?
For this competition, we didn't really need to buy anything that we didn't already have on hand or was at Home Depot. We have enough stock on hand that we could have built the robot. So that was helpful. The stuff that we did need to buy was Home Depot were linear slides and some carpet liner.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh, making the field was also another thing, but budget-wise, we didn't really spend all that much money on buying new materials.
Okay.
And what about the game elements?
I'm sorry?
What about the game elements?
Game elements, our FTC team participated in one of the FTC competitions, the one with the wiffle balls shooting it into goals. So we had those wiffle balls already on hand, and we kind of just decided that the small balls we weren't going to try to do anything fancy with it, so we just stuck to the big balls. We tried to build a ramp, and we set some of our younger, newer guys to do that, so they'd get some experience while we tried to quickly manufacture everything. So we built a ramp out of Duran and some plywood, but our rolling goals were just a tube on a platform.
Okay. So how did you come up with the idea of the final robot you delivered?
I'm sorry?
How did you come up with the idea of the final robot you delivered in the video? The lift, the sliders mechanism. Or can you tell me about that?
So we came up with that idea because we figured that if we were able to drag our collector behind us, or our rolling goal behind us, we could just keep dumping balls in there while we were running around and collecting. And we figured that the best way to do that was to actually lift a conveyor belt on top of the rolling goal and just start transporting balls in there without actually having to move a bucket up and dumping. So that was the main reason for having a conveyor belt.
Is there anything innovative in your robot?
Can you repeat that?
Anything innovative in your robot? Something that you that is new or out of the box? Can you hear me?
What's innovative on our robot?
So I think our idea of our conveyor belt is really innovative. Originally we had, so we decided that, as Josh said, we want to carry the balls up to the top of the goal. That using a bucket would be inefficient. So instead of having to find the goal every time we had a full load, we just had the goal behind us and just spit balls behind us as we were going. So it would be super efficient in building up to the goal.
Okay. Anything in the programming area that you consider that is good, that is efficient programming or something like that?
None of us are programmers, and whatever program we did was just to make the robot be able to run.
So we did have some code. So our linear side lift, if the motor got stuck at the top, it would cause the motor to slow down or to stop completely. So there was some fail-safe code there to keep the motor from burning out. Other than that, all we have is simple PID for driving.
Oh, that's cool.
Pretty standard code, yeah.
So why did you join the FTC? In 3 days, yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
We really wanted to get some people trained in our design aspect of the robotics team because we are starting to run low on people designing and CADing. So we really wanted to give some of the newer members a crash course on the design aspects of robotics, not just the manufacturing. So that was a big reason for joining, and we also just wanted to start off our season running and just kind of give people a feel of what the 6 weeks of FRC build season would be like in a really compressed time frame.
We also thought that it would be kind of a good form of outreach, because especially within our community, because we have a couple sister FTC teams within our schools that were just kind of starting out. We thought this would kind of be a good way to motivate them and give them some ideas for their robot.
When are you going to compete?
We don't compete as an FTC team.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah, this robot's not going to competition as of now. We may decide to run as an FTC team, but right now we're not. That's not a part of the plan.
Because actually your robot is pretty good. It's at a competition level, in my opinion. So I think it would do really good in a competition.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hold on. Do you think that you can improve something from that robot for a real life competition?
So right now, our robot has a little problem with the subsystems interacting with each other. So our ball flow isn't at quite where we want it to be. So to make it competition ready, we'd have to make some dimension adjustments on our parts and systems. And we'd also need to do a lot of protecting of our electronics. It was kind of strapped on there.
Yeah. Something about your robot. How, I don't know, does it fit within an 18 by 18 inches box?
It does
Yes.
when it's down. Yep.
Yes.
As soon as it goes up, though, it gets up to about a little over 3 feet. So during the beginning of the competition, when it slides down, it is within 18 by 18.
Okay, that's good because it looked kind of big.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are you going to do now with that robot?
So now it's going to be more of a demonstration piece for our FTC teams, and we might try to run it and make it a little bit more sturdy and competition ready, but really it's just probably going to be a practice driving robot if the FTC team ever needs that, and just a source of ideas and a prototyping platform for them if they need it.
Okay, just as a final thing, is there anything you would change from this competition? As this is the first year we're organizing this competition, is there anything you would change to make it better?
Yeah, the instructions were kind of a little bit vague, and no one really knew what we were doing, so yeah, we had to read over the manual a couple times.
Okay.
But yeah, just time constraints were expected, but with school it made it a little bit rougher than it normally would be. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for your time, and thank you a lot for being part of this competition. This was the first year of FTC in 3 days, and I hope to see you in the next year participating and hopefully having an FTC team that competes in a official event. So thank you guys from the whole team. We really appreciate what you did.
Yeah, thank you for organizing this.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too.
Okay, so this was an interview with CyberKnights 4911 in FTC in 3 days. The next team that will be interviewed will be Holy Cow Robotics, and we'll post these interviews and the final winner at our website. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.